Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I've missed you guys so much. It has been a little while since the end of June, actually, since I've been on to talk to you guys. I hope everyone is doing well. I just wanted to come on today. As you can tell, I've been very busy. I've been playing catch up on my budgeting, as well as doing a lot of introspection. Me and Justin had sort of a life audit conversation. And so it's totally refreshing my budget plan. And so I feel like I'm in a good place to jump on and share with you, catch you up on what everything's been going on with me, and then what my new plan is for my budgeting channel. So I hope y'all stick around and let's go ahead and get started. So as many of you know, life sometimes throws curveballs, right? And so for me and my channel, I actually had to step away for the passing of my dad, if you didn't already know, or if you're new here. I took actually the end of June, July, and August to just kind of spend time with family, make sure that I was getting everything done that I needed to get done in my personal life. And I just couldn't keep up with the channel, and I just decided to give myself a little bit of grace through all that. So I did have to step away from the budgeting videos and my normal routine, just because of these life-changing events. You know, Dad passed away. He got sick 5 years ago with a stroke, has been struggling ever since. And then around June, Mom basically felt like hospice needed to step in, and he passed away on July 31st, so the last day of July. And I spent July really just spending time traveling back and forth to Houston, visiting with my dad, having those crucial conversations with my mom and my brother and my sister, and just kind of staying on top of work, because work was also getting really crazy. And the promotion finally came in at the end of July, which it was so crazy I couldn't be present for it. I've been working so hard trying to level up my skills, and then of course I wasn't there for it. So that was a bit of an interesting turn of events, but I kind of got through that. And on the way home from my dad's burial, Justin and I were together, and you know, we had that crucial conversation. We decided to create like a 10-year life plan. So we kind of audited what was going on in our lives, the crucial events that are coming up in the future, with kids graduating, parents getting older, us getting closer to retirement age. And so I really just kind of wanted to spend that time growing, healing, learning as much as I could while I was away from you guys. And I'm so proud to be back here doing what I love with all of you. So I do kind of want to jump in with a sort of kind of bridge the gap between the summer months that I wasn't budgeting, and then also checking in on my quarter two with you guys, because I didn't get to do that at the end of June. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk about the quarter two check-in. I didn't get as far ahead as I wanted to in quarter two because of the different things that were going on with family, but I did increase my monthly, it's my month ahead savings, but it's really a year ahead savings. And so I'll talk more about how I'm leveling up in my year ahead savings here soon. But I was able to save $600 towards year ahead. I really wish I could have saved more, but I did have to make some adjustments, I think, in quarter two to take care of some medical bills for my daughter. So that kind of took a back seat for a little bit. I didn't add anything to the 5K challenge because it was fully funded last quarter. Then the 2025 challenge, I was able to add another $804 to it. Food Truck Fridays got a bump of $483. I didn't have my Hey K Budgets 2025 challenge designed. You know what? I'm just going to give up on it. We didn't do anything. I didn't create anything. I just couldn't stay on top of all the things. So I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Save with Judy is one of my 2025 challenges that I'm using towards my goal to save 10K in a year. In cash. So I saved another $65 with Judy's challenge. The ding 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 is also getting counted towards that 10K savings, and I counted an additional $107 in that envelope for quarter two, and I earned another $4,419, almost $420 in extra side hustle money. My credit score went down. My ex-husband's like savings account, I unlinked it from some joint accounts that we had, and I went ahead and just took over the joint accounts. So that took a hit on the credit by unlinking his savings. So I'm not upset about it. It's just something that happens. And you know, I guess when you have deaths, you know, you have to plan for certain things, and one of those things is your credit score is going to be affected with all of the changes in bank accounts and things like that. And then, but I am happy to say that my net worth did increase. April was a really hard month in the stock market. A lot of our retirement accounts went super low because it's just a downturn in the market. So I've been learning a lot about that, and it did affect my net worth, but I am proud to say it did gain about almost $18,000 for quarter two. And so now I'm working on quarter three. I can't believe we're already into September. So that's July, August, and September is quarter three. So I'm going to be looking ahead and making some really strong movements towards my savings and investing goals for quarter three. So let's go and get that out of the way, and let's jump into the budget. So the budget with me portion of this video is going to be kind of quick, because what I'm going to do is I left off in June and I took a couple of months off of budgeting. So what I had done is I had done a quick like forecast for July, but I'm going to end up just reporting what August ended up being like for me. So we are going to just jump into the income portion of my worksheet. This worksheet you can find in the descriptions of this video. But income was quite high for August. It was almost $8,200. This includes a little bump in my paycheck from a promotion, and then also a magic month. So I got 3 paychecks in August. So that was really cool. I did calculate about a rollover of $1,500 from July that I wasn't able to allocate or spend or whatever, however that worked out. So I was able to roll that in. So bills are staying very much consistent. They actually had a little bit of a decrease, not too bad. Actually, I'm sorry, an increase of maybe about $200 from normal months. I'm not too upset about it. There was a lot of traveling, and the warmer months are high on the AC bill, which I didn't really calculate. So anyway, moving on, I was able to catch up on 2 months worth of extra principal payments towards my mortgage debt. And so I went ahead and just put $600, which we're going to jump into my binders here in a second and make sure my binders are all caught up. Spending, as you can tell, my variable spending between gas, groceries, dining out, and there's actually more that I didn't account for in this budget that I'm just going to have to reconcile in September. But variable expenses were high with all the traveling, and that amount to $1,063. I decided to just put a large chunk into my 10K binder, 10K savings, and I went ahead and put $2,500 in there, which we're going to jump into that binder today and also catch up there, and then $600 into my 1 year ahead savings. And what I also did was I put some money into a high growth ETF fund in my Robinhood account. And so in total, I think it was like, let's see, yeah, total savings was $3,450 towards my investment accounts and in my cash savings. So that was like a 42% savings from my income, which I just love. Love, love, love that. I want to see if, no, I didn't write it down. Okay. And since I didn't do any sinking funds, I am left with a balance of $172 to roll over into September. If I'm going to start doing these budget with me videos, I really just kind of want to step away from the month ahead stuff and just work on monthly budgeting in the current month. So there'll be some changes there in my budget with me videos, mostly because I'm just switching my focus, friends. I'm switching my focus. We're going to do a lot more simplifying and some automation also in my budgeting, because I have decided that my focus isn't going to be so much now on agonizing where every dollar goes as it is about planning for the things that are important to me. So like I said previously, this is going to be a reset for month of September to kind of see what's going on so that I can prioritize the things I want to save my money for. So with cash budgeting, if you're new to cash budgeting, budgeting for sinking funds is super important because you're trying to create this conscious spending system. And if you've got debt, it helps pay off debt, and it also kind of helps you prevent lifestyle creep. So if you are overspending in an area, these sinking funds help you realize where your money is going and what kind of adjustments you need to make in your budget. But really what I'm going to start doing now is I am not going to be budgeting all of my income per se. I do still feel it's important to track my side income and my W-2 income, but I'm going to have some other things going off to the side that's going to help me pay for my daily expenses. What I've decided in this whole growing period that I've had this summer is that the portion of the channel that just doesn't really feed me, doesn't give me much joy, is the agonizing over where every dollar is going. And really what I want to do is focus my attentions on savings goals. And so we are going to simplify the budget, and I'm going to have a lot of things automated into savings as well as for my 401k retirement fund. And so I may end up switching my budget worksheet so that it includes some 401k tracking, maybe even some Roth IRA tracking, things like that, because those are the things that the investments are the things that I'm doing off to the side. So the only investing I'm really doing are my tax advantage accounts, which I should probably write that here. So the three that I'm going to simplify my investments are my HSA and my Roth IRA and my Roth 401k. And what I have done is I've really kind of streamlined my savings and budgeting goals to like three main tiers. Since Justin and I sat down and worked on a 10-year plan, we thought, how nice would it be to retire early? And in order to retire early, we needed to get out from underneath any debt. We needed to try and focus on increasing our income if possible, and then also investing everything that we can into our tax advantage accounts. So Justin is also doing some stock market play, and so maybe the future of my channel might include some stock market updates. We will see. We're just going to be really focused on planning for the future, and so that's not going to end up like affecting my savings challenges or my binders too much, because I can't, you guys, I can't not play with my holiday themed cash stuffing challenges that I've been saving up for. I'm so excited about Halloween and Christmas. So we're just going to use all of those good things, all those good habits that we've learned in cash budgeting towards this new phase. And I'm going to call it like tier 2. So tier 1 to me was the cash budgeting, making sure I knew what was coming in, what was coming out. I focused on keeping my living expenses low. I focused on debt repayment. I focused on the variable spending, keeping those low, because eating out and Amazon spending and groceries, oh my gosh, so easy to lose sight from one month to the next. You know, if you're not paying attention, the variable spending is really where you're going to like just lose control, and you're going to wonder what the heck happened to all your money. So there's going to be a lot more real talk in my channel. I'm going to be talking about the pitfalls of the variable spending, since I will no longer be funding them with sinking funds for right now. I think what I'm going to do is just stick with these main categories and really hunker down into increasing my savings percentage. So lots of things I've done also off camera with like that I don't talk about in my investments, which I will go into in a minute. But really what I wanted to just simplify and tell you is that we are just going to keep it mainly to this section of the worksheet and maybe the investment section. So things like mini Mondays and savings with friends might be going away. Now, this budget might go through a little bit of adjustment in the middle of the month. I did go ahead and set up some automation in my 401k to increase my retirement saving, and that's going to be really fun to see what that does to my paycheck, my take-home pay, as well as the savings goals that I've had. So Um, I think I'm ready to put this away. Each one of my budget worksheets also has a calendar if you want to also look at the month as a whole and calendar wise. I think it's really important to track your weekly spending, how it's going to be divided, know what bills are coming out, what extra income you've got planned, when your regular income comes in, and anything like holidays, special events, things that happen here, appointments. Really great way to look at the month as a whole when you're looking at your budget as well. All right, guys, so we are now into what I'm gonna call my September reset for my binders. Y'all, I think I counted like 13 binders or something like that, and we're really just gonna be focusing on 3. We're gonna be focusing on my 10K binder, my spooky 1 year ahead binder, and my debt binder. And I did wanna say that I want to track the progress in these 3 categories very well. And so these binders you're gonna see a lot till the end of the year and possibly for the future of this channel. So let's kind of just jump in. I have been learning so much. I've been growing my financial literacy over the summer. I dove headfirst into the stock market investing. Justin has been doing a lot of the penny trading and making great money researching stocks. So we've been working on educating ourselves in stock analysis and comparisons. He's actually doing some stock trading right now and making really good progress in all the research. I've learned terms like upside and downturn, trailing stops, profits versus taxes, because he is also trying to create wealth quickly. He's been selling what you would consider long-term stocks or long-term growth strategies. He's been selling them, so we've been having to learn the tax implications on that as well. A lot of interesting stuff to learn about and move forward into this budgeting journey. So it's been empowering and I've been feeling more confident about my decision here. And I'm anxious to see how both my short-term and my long-term goals are going to get reached in these binders. And I'll be adding some of this content into the channel, like the investment portions and the budgeting for these types of things as we go, because they're all going to be going in hand, right? All right, guys, so I have about catching up to do. I have $2,500 that I put into the 10K savings account. So I have my 2 prop bills here. And just to kind of go over this little tag here, let me go and just throw this up like this. So the number 1 priority is my investing. So I've got 3 main goals and 3 tiers, okay? For the group of you guys that are watching that are in your 20s and 30s, you really need to start working on starting your investments, and investing a little bit at a time, even when you're making very little money, can still have amazing impact. In fact, more impact than what I am doing currently at my age, because you've got the friend of compound growth. So you guys, I want you to think about investing, even if you're in your 20s and 30s, have no idea what you're gonna do, or you have no sense of urgency on retirement at all. I still want you to jump into it. So important. My daughter's starting to learn the value of having money invested, and compound growth for her, since she's only 17, is gonna be amazing for her in the future. And so it's super exciting to see what's happening in her investment accounts. And so I think that's partly why I'm so inspired to be working on my investing. So my goals are going to be to max out my tax advantaged accounts. And when I say tax advantaged accounts, these are accounts that don't get taxed or have, they're just not taxed. So they're either coming from after-tax funds or they're tax sheltered. So the first 2 accounts here is the HSA, which is the health savings account, and the Roth IRA. If you qualify for an HSA, your max this year is $4,300, and the max for a Roth IRA is $7,000. This is something you can contribute to in bulk or all at once at the end of every year, or you can trickle in a little bit of money from your paycheck into these accounts a little bit every month or at every pay period, however that works out. So when I talk about tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, tier 1 to me are your beginners. And I think that having this HSA and your Roth IRA as a goal, like maxing out those 2 accounts, is tier 1 goals. Like, I really think if you're just getting out started in investing, this is the way to do it. Health savings accounts are options for people who have high deductible health insurance plans, but you can invest this money. So this is another way to invest, because there are ways that you can go in, and from that money that's getting pulled out into your paycheck, you can go and tell it what funds that you want to invest in. So it's pretty cool. The other one is doing the Roth IRA. Now I do my Roth IRA from the 10K Savings Binder Savings, and I buy it at the beginning of every year. So every January I reach out to my wealth advisor and I give her $7,000, and she basically invests it for me, and I can watch it. You can also do it yourself for cheap with a brokerage account from Fidelity, Schwab. I can't remember what other ones are out there, but you can take care of this yourself and put money in it from your paycheck. So when I talk about Roth, that is after tax. So when I go to use this money when I'm in retirement age, it's not taxed. So whatever's in that account, I get to take out dollar for dollar. Now, a traditional IRA is the second option. If let's say you maxed out your Roth IRA and you would like to open a traditional, that's totally optional, but it's pre-tax money. And so you will pay for your taxes when you go to withdraw in retirement. But I think that these two accounts would be great tier one. I'm going to start working on my tier two goals, which is to max out my Roth 401k, and the IRS bumped it in 2025 about $500. So now we get to save a max of $23,500. This would be great. I think you can make bulk contributions at the end, so you get an option to put some savings money that you've had in your savings account or your high yield. You get to invest that money. At the very end, you get that option. They ask you a question if you want to go ahead and dump some money in there to try and reach this goal. And so I might do that, and I think that's the goal for the rest of these funds. So tier three is going to be that catch-up contribution. So in your 50s through whatever retirement age, and if you stop working at 72, you get a catch-up contribution. And I believe anyone after 50 years old can contribute, anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 more towards your 401k savings. So we have $2,500 that needs to come and find a place in here. And I think what I want to do is jump into one of these. Let's see, one of these trackers. We're going to pick up on the 2025 Savings Challenge from Seeky Budgets. We're so close to finishing it. We're just 300 and some change. So we will come into this one in the next couple months and complete that one. But I think what I would like to do is go ahead and track the 2,500 that I put into the high yield savings account. And let's go ahead and this is just going to go towards that $23,000 max out contributions. So right now it's just going to earn a little bit of interest in the high yield savings account. So think what I'm going to do is color in everything but $500. All right, you guys. So this leaves us $500 left in this challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and put these prop bills behind this challenge. I'm thinking about taking out this cute little 5K savings challenge that I got from Peachy Budgets on Etsy. It is so adorable, but I feel like it's completed and I had such a great time. It really did keep me focused on saving my side hustle money, and I really just liked how simple this was and how cute it looked, how pink everything was. It just looks so cute. So I think what I'm gonna do is take out this, and this will keep me focused on these last 3 savings challenges, and then I will have to come up with another savings challenge to jump in here. Oh, I got one extra one in here. Let's see what this one's amount. This one is $100 bonus tracker. That's cute. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, friends. I'm going to focus on these 3 savings challenges now, and we are going to hopefully finish this guy strong, this binder, and start fresh again with some new challenges and keep saving as much as we can until the end of the year. Next, I kind of want to talk about my debt binder. I love my debt binder, friends, and since it's fall, I went ahead and got my fall dashboards out, although we are kind of seeing a lot of rain right now. Let me just wait a little bit. So my debt binder is my mortgage payoff, and I put in $600 last month, and that means I get to color in 20 balloons. So I'm gonna spend some time catching up on my tracker with you guys. So I love this binder. This is such a fun way to save for an expense like a debt, and the debt binder is so much fun. So if you've noticed my little note tag here, my little sticky note, the mortgage extra principal payments is my debt, and so tier 1 is where I'm at right now. I can manage $300 in debt payments, extra debt payments towards my mortgage payoff every month. So going up to tier 2 is in about 5 years, when Justin and I can, and if I get another like pay bump, I will try and jump up to tier 2, but I can't do it yet, so I'm going to be still in that tier 1. To me, this is a lower priority than investing, because I feel like I've got a low interest rate on my mortgage, and it feels like most people who are currently retired have a really good investment account that pays their mortgage, and paying off their house really wasn't like it was part of their expenses, their monthly expenses that they accounted for during their investing plan and their savings plan. So this one to me is a definitely lower priority, still very important to me, because Justin and I both, when we had our, life audit, we really found that our savings and our growth, our investment in our investing accounts would really grow if we did not have a mortgage payment, obviously, right? I'm going to work as hard as I can, because this is something that I have learned to do, and these are those tier 1 habits that when you're always making extra debt payments, that is the, this is budgeting 101, friends. If you have debt, it's so important to pay that off first. More important than saving almost. Get your emergency fund saved, but then work down that debt. So that's my plan. So tier 1 strategies still in play on this one. I did want to show you guys, I also love tracking my mortgage payoff, and I have several different trackers that keep me motivated. I have this amortization schedule that I printed from my mortgage company. And every time I'm able to make an extra principal, it feels really good to come in here and cross off another line sooner than I normally would have paid that 30-year loan. And so it really does help motivate me. But then I have this bigger one, which I just love. It kind of gives me a picture from a whole. I thought maybe I would do 3,000 a balloon, but I felt like I'd be holding on to this tracker forever. So I thought I would pay off the mortgage like $100,000 at a time. My mortgage started out in April of 2022 with $327,500 as the start. And every year I kind of come in here and see what my total paid is. And I need to come in here and do my 2024 total paid. So what I would like to do is color in some more balloons on my big $100,000 tracker. All right, guys, that was 28 balloons. So looking pretty good, looking pretty good. So I might need to update my little sticky note at another time. But I also wanted to say that I also went to my mortgage company, and they have this like fast track your payoff, where you can go and see if you were to put in $600, and since my tiers were $300, $600, and $1,200, you can see where an extra $600 a month starting this month would take off $77,677 off the interest of the mortgage loan you paid, 119 months early, with an estimated payoff of January 2041. And I would love to be mortgage free by 2036. I'm eligible for early retirement at 60-ish. And so that would save $108,550 in interest and take off 169 months. What is that? 169 divided by 12. That's 14 years off of the loan. Can you imagine? Wow. But again, I don't make anywhere near that amount of money. So, but you know, it's just that progress, right? And I never want to stop thinking about how I can earn extra money, as well as like, what can I do to put myself in a better position tomorrow than I am in today? And so paying off your debt can be super motivating. This is just, for me, I have to break it up and do small chunks, because looking at it at a whole like this is very intimidating. So I just kind of break it up. I'm usually always working with a rule of 3. So I try and break up things. If you're goal setting right now and trying to figure out, you know, what your financial goals are, whether you're paying off debt or saving, break it up into 3s, like what you can manage now, how you can level up and manage in the near future, and then maybe when all these, like, you know, years of investing in yourself and putting money away and taking off your debt, you'll be able to go into this tier 3 where it's like, you know, pie in the sky type of situation where you're like getting to see your real dreams. And last but not least is my 1-year head binder. So let's kind of go through the goals here. I was able to contribute $600 towards my cash savings. Now, the reason I am planning a cash savings goal is because in the stock market, when you're in retirement and let's say you're living off your interest and you're taking out, they say, an estimation of like 3 to 4% to pay for your expenses, you have to have some reserves in cash for when the market turns. And from what I understand, if you don't want to use the money in your retirement accounts during a downturn in the market, then you would need to tap into your emergency fund or your cash savings. So when the market turns, you would use this cash instead, so that you're not depleting your investment when it's already taking the hits of being in a downturned market. So I hope that makes sense. So I broke up increments of $50,000 with a goal of $150,000, which to me will be about 3 years of living expenses in retirement. So I broke it up with tier 1 being already accomplished. I have that already saved in my year ahead savings already. And then I'm now working on my 2nd year. So that'll be another $50,000. And since I'm in tier 2 in this binder, that's what this is for, is my year ahead savings. So we have $600 to jump in here. The $600 is going to go into my home deductibles category. My home deductible for my home insurance is $6,000. So what I'd like to do is color in, let's see, 12 squares. Each one of my squares worth 50. So I will color in 12 squares and get us farther ahead on this tracker. All right, guys, that was 12. So that completes my video today. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into my spooky 1-year head binder with you guys. I've seen so many cute new challenges. I'm slowly catching up on channels and videos. And so I kind of want to just, I have some notes here off to the side. Just want to give everyone a heartfelt thank you. Because to everyone who kind of stuck around, this is for you. Thank you for reaching out to me, watching old videos, commenting on old videos, messaging me an email, and you know, some of you have my number, texting me, just keeping me in your thoughts. Thank you so much, truly. You reminded me that this community is more than just budgeting. It's about encouraging and growing one another, and then showing up for ourselves and showing up for our community. And so life gets hard, you know, and when I know that you guys are there cheering me on in the background, that has been just such a huge motivator to kind of get out of my slump, because honestly it was kind of hard to dig myself out of some sadness, because losing a parent, it's just, it's a dog-eared moment, you know. I turn that page and there's not many chapters left in my book, kind of. I mean, I know I have lots of years to go, but I'm pretty much past half life, and you know, you just start thinking and reevaluating life and making time for things that are more important. Obviously, relationships, strong relationships, are something that I'm really gonna focus on now in the future, because that's really what's important, guys. My dad, you know, got sick before he could enjoy his retirement, and one day, you know, that might come and bless me in the future. And so I feel really like, just, I don't know, it just feels good to know that my father made such great plans in his budgeting journey and his savings and growth plan. It was just really sad that he couldn't take advantage of it. And the blessing is that it's going to help me, my children, and even my grandchildren one day. And so my mother, of course, is my main focus now as my last living parent. And I'm going to really just make sure we squeeze out every bit of life that she's got left. We're going to take trips together. We're going to, I think we're going to move her closer to me so that I can help take care of her. But really, I just want to say, I need to end this video that you all have inspired me. You've had me motivated to come back to this channel, come back to my budgeting journey, and really kind of give myself new purpose, new energy, and positivity. And I could not have done that without you guys. So thank you again. I'm just really looking forward to seeing what this channel grows into and what I plan on you know, doing with my money, and looking forward to seeing what you guys have going on, and the real talk, adding a lot more real talk into my channel. Fresh budgeting videos, savings strategies, stock market updates. I think in general, all of that is super important and needed in this community. So I'm going to be there for it. And if you liked so far what you've seen from this channel, if you're new, thank you for sticking with me so far. I hope that you guys have an amazing budgeting month. And I hope that you guys, if you haven't already, like this video, comment down below, and subscribe. And I will see you guys again soon.